Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're diving deep beneath one of the most mysterious places on Earth, the endless golden dunes of the Sahara Desert. A place so ancient, so untouched, and so massive that it hides secrets older than civilization itself. But what if I told you? Beneath the scorching sand, beneath the silence and the shifting dunes, lie discoveries that completely rewrite what we thought we knew about human history, ancient civilizations, and even the climate of Earth itself. Tonight, you and I are traveling into the heart of the desert, where forgotten cities sleep, ancient bones whisper and long, buried mysteries wait for someone brave enough to uncover them. So sit back, turn off the lights, and let's step into the sands of time. Because what lies beneath the Sahara is stranger, darker, and more unbelievable than you can imagine. Our story begins thousands of years ago, long before the desert existed, back when the Sahara wasn't a wasteland at all. Scientists now believe it was once green, a land filled with lakes, rivers, forests, and animals. A place where people lived, hunted, traveled, and built things we never knew existed. And today, we're going to explore 5 of those forgotten discoveries one by one. Let's begin our journey. Beneath the endless dunes of the Central Sahara, researchers were stunned to uncover what looked like curved stones arranged in the shape of a giant circle. At first, many thought it was nothing, maybe just rocks shifted by centuries of wind. But the deeper they dug, the more they realized this wasn't natural, it was intentional, a monument, something ancient people built in a time long before the pyramids of Egypt. This place came to be known as Nabta Playa. Now imagine this, a massive stone calendar built more than 7,000 years ago, older than Stonehenge, older than almost every known structure on Earth. But here's the part that shook archaeologists. The stones were aligned perfectly with the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. That means the people who built it had knowledge of astronomy far beyond what anyone expected from prehistoric cultures. But there's an even stranger twist. Beneath the sand surrounding these stones, researchers found ritual buildings and graves. Some of these graves included cattle buried with care, almost like sacrifices to some forgotten god. Why cattle? Why the solar alignments? Why this location? Some believe the people of Nabta Playa created one of the earliest organized civilizations in Africa, long before Egypt rose to power. Others think these early desert people tracked the sun and stars because they predicted something terrible, the coming transformation of their lush, green land into the desert we know today. Maybe they watched the rain disappear, the lakes dry, the animals vanish, and built this monument as a final message, a warning carved into stone. Now let's move across the desert to our next mystery. For centuries, travelers crossing the Sahara reported strange patches of hard, greenish glass scattered across remote areas. At first, no one could explain it. It wasn't shaped like pottery, it wasn't melted by campfires, and it didn't resemble anything humans had ever created. This Sahara glass looked unnatural. When scientists finally analyzed it, they discovered something shocking. This glass was formed at temperatures hotter than any volcanic eruption or lightning strike. The only thing capable of creating such extreme heat is a cosmic event, a meteor, or worse, an airburst explosion above the desert. Imagine this: around 29 million years ago, a massive object from outer space slammed into or exploded above the Sahara, creating a fireball hotter than the surface of the sun. The explosion melted the sand instantly, turning it into huge sheets of pure glass. The blast would have been catastrophic, flattening everything for miles, igniting the land and sky, and producing a shockwave so powerful it could be felt a continent away. But here's the eerie part. This mysterious desert glass was later used in ancient jewelry. In fact, King Tutankhamun himself wore a scarab necklace made from it, meaning people in ancient Egypt believed the glass held some kind of mystical or divine power. Was it just beautiful, or did they know its true origin? Did they believe it fell from the heavens? Now let's move to one of the most haunting discoveries ever made beneath the Saharan sand, a discovery that changed everything we thought we knew about life in the ancient desert. In 2000, a group of scientists exploring a remote region discovered something strange. Bones, human bones, dozens of them, all lying beneath the scorching surface, untouched for thousands of years. The place was named Gobero. When this team uncovered the bodies, they expected the skeletons to belong to desert nomads, but they were very wrong. These skeletons belonged to people who lived not in a desert, but next to a massive lake that once covered the region. The remains showed families buried side by side, mothers holding children, people arranged carefully, not dumped. Some graves had jewelry, tools, and pottery. These weren't primitive wanderers. They were part of a peaceful, thriving community. But the most emotional discovery was a pair of skeletons, a mother and her child buried together as if locked in an eternal embrace. They lived nearly 10 years ago, during the time when the Sahara was green. Imagine standing there in the brutal heat of the modern desert, knowing that beneath your feet once stood a land filled with life, with villages, with water, and with people who loved, struggled, and died just like us. But what happened to them? Scientists think climate change, a shift in the Earth's tilt, slowly turned their paradise into hell. The lake dried up, animals died, and the people of Gobero were forced to leave or perish. Today, their bones remain buried in sand, preserved as a reminder that even the mightiest landscapes can be wiped away by time. Next, let's move to perhaps the most visually enthralling structure hiding beneath the Sahara. From above, it looks like a giant blue eye staring straight into the sky, perfectly circular, massive, and mysterious. This is the Richat structure, also called the Eye of the Sahara. When astronauts first saw it from space, they thought it was a crater, maybe caused by an asteroid. But no, the eye wasn't created by impact, nor by volcanoes, nor by any normal geological process. Some scientists believe it's the eroded remains of a gigantic ancient dome pushed up from deep within the earth. Others think it was once a ring, like landform created by ancient erosion, but the deeper you study it, the stranger it becomes. Perfect spirals don't form easily in nature. Some alternative researchers think it might even match the legendary city of Atlantis, described by Plato as a circular city made of rings of land and water. While most scientists disagree, the resemblance is eerie. Huge circular walls, massive scale, hidden beneath centuries of sand. But the real mystery is that the Eye of the Sahara doesn't appear to connect with any known civilization. No ancient city ruins, no tools, no signs of life. So why does it look designed? Who or what created this enormous structure? And why does it look like a blueprint carved into the desert? Now let's travel even deeper into the most astonishing discovery beneath the Sahara, something that scientists didn't expect and still cannot fully explain. Deep imaging technology recently revealed something hidden under the sand, the remains of massive ancient rivers, some bigger than the Nile itself. These dry river beds stretch for hundreds of miles, connecting to places where lakes once existed. These were not small streams, these were gigantic river systems capable of supporting entire civilizations, and yet no one knows exactly who lived along these ancient waterways. Some believe these rivers guided early human migration out of Africa. Others think ancient cultures that predate recorded history lived along these hidden riverbanks. But here's the most shocking part. Some satellite scans show what look like buried structures near these old waterways. Walls, grids, possible foundations, are they natural formations, or could they be the buried remains of civilizations long forgotten, swallowed by sand, and erased from history? The Sahara isn't just a desert. It's a time capsule, a place where the earth buried its past to hide it from us. And every year the wind reveals a little more: a bone, a city, a river, a monument, a mystery. But here's the question that keeps haunting everyone who studies the desert. What else is still buried under those endless dunes, waiting to be discovered? Maybe another lost city, maybe evidence of a civilization older than Egypt. Maybe something that will completely rewrite human history, or maybe something we're not ready to find. One thing is certain: the Sahara will not give up its secrets easily. But as long as explorers continue to dig, search, and scan the desert's depths, more unbelievable discoveries will rise to the surface. And when they do, I'll be right here to tell you the story. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you in the next dark and mysterious journey. Until then, stay curious and stay safe out there.